Let's check in with Mr. Bell for our Bell's book blurb.
Hello, students. I want to do this. This will be a weekly thing that I'll do where I'll cover a chapter from a book that I think is inspiring or valuable, and I hope it's of value to you as students as you grow in your ability with growth mindset and continue to learn here at Westlake STEM. The book I'll be covering one chapter every week from this book that's called If You Want to Change the World, Start by Making Your Bed. This book is written by an admiral in the U.S. Navy. He gave a talk at the closing or graduation at University of Texas back in 2014. And in that talk, he gave 10 tips or 10 life skills that he learned from his experiences in SEAL training. For those who don't know, he was a Navy SEAL, and for those who don't know who Navy SEALs are, they're the most elite and the most rigorously trained soldiers in our U.S. government. When they need the most specialized troops to go in, it's the Navy SEALs they send in. So they're the most highly trained, highly specific, highly skilled, and hardest trained soldiers that our military has, and for the U.S. government, for our United States. So when he was in this training is famous for being really hard. In fact, throughout the whole training, they have a bell there that if someone gets too tired and can't do it anymore, they ring the bell and they're kicked out. So it's really hard. A lot of people drop out because it's so challenging. So as he was in this experience of SEAL training, the first lesson or the first chapter that he talks about how while they're going through this training, they're doing lots of exercises and really, really hard trainings, lots of swimming miles a day, running miles a day, lifting heavy objects for long periods of time. Even though they're completely exhausted, there was an expectation that they'd have to have their beds made perfectly and some really strict standards for that. But throughout that time, he said, throughout my life in the Navy, making my bed was the one constant that I could count on every day. He talked about how that was his way of starting his day. And so years later, he got injured. He got really seriously injured. He ruined his hips in this horrible accident where he was parachuting and got caught in the strings of the parachute and got really injured. And he talked about while he was trying to heal from that, and it took months to heal, he said all he wanted was out of that bed for more than anything else. And he says, when I finally was healed enough to lift myself unaided from the bed, the first thing I did was pull the sheets up tight, adjust the pillow, and make sure the hospital bed looked presentable to all those who entered my home. It was my way of showing that I had conquered the injury and was moving forward in my life. So when he was healing from that injury, when he finally got to a point, that was his first sign of saying, hey, I'm back and I'm ready to live my life. He also says, sometimes the simple act of making your bed can give yourself a lift. You need to start your day and provide that your satisfaction to end it right. If you want to change the world, and if you want to change your life, and maybe the world, start off by making your bed. So that's this week's chapter. Students, I hope it's helpful to you, is when you start your day by making an accomplishment, like making your bed, that you start your day with one small accomplishment, it can lead to another accomplishment and then another. Please do your best and have a great week.